Hi friends, or should I say, come on in guys! No? I don't know. Thought I would throw in a Survivor reference, since today we're doing the first episode of the made up, completely fake, don't take this too seriously, Heroes vs. Villains season of Drag Race. In this sort of series, I guess, what I'm going to be doing is going over each episode of this hypothetical season with the challenges I laid out in the video you can find in the upper right hand corner of your screen or in the description below. I will also be going over possible episode storylines, how some queens would interact, and what the producers would possibly show us. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss the continuation of this season, but also other Drag Race related or maybe not related videos in the future. And just a note before we begin, the teams were chosen based on how the queens were shown on the show. Their behavior after Drag Race was not taken into consideration, and everything was well laid out in the original video. So please don't try to make any of that a point of discussion in the comments. So, episode 1. We have all of the girls come into the workroom in black and white, mostly white looks. First in the workroom would be the winners, planting this idea in their mind that they're coming in for an all-winner season, pretending that they haven't read their contracts thoroughly. Then the rest of the queens come in, and there's the shock of there being 20 girls in the workroom. There is no divide between the queens yet, but we do get clear groups of, for example, Jinx and Dayla together, then Raja and Raven, Alaska, Willem, Roxy maybe too, with a couple of queens kind of meandering around trying to find their place, such as Tyra Sanchez, perhaps Naomi, or even Yara Sofia. Ru comes into the workroom and gives his regular speech, but also announces the first mini challenge of this 2-hour special premiere. The queens have to get their pictures taken while being sprayed with paint. The heroes team gets sprayed with blue paint, while the villains team with red paint. When the girls come back into the workroom, they are told not to de-drag, but rather wait in their new outfits while everyone gets their picture taken. Of course, some queens are a little frustrated, they want to get out of drag, but they all start to notice that they are now either in red or in blue, and comment on who's got which color, slowly maybe figuring out what's happening. When all 20 of them are done, Ru meets them in the workroom again to explain to them the concept of the season, and during the explanation, officially divide the teams. Then he announces the winner of the mini challenge. Now, I chose Naomi as the winner here. Other than having some of the best entrance workroom looks out of these 20 queens, we know that she can take a picture very well. We may get a reaction or two from some of her teammates who think they should have won this, such as Willem, Raja, Raven, or Tyra. However, these reactions change quickly when Ru tells them that their team will win an advantage for the Maxi Challenge. The Maxi Challenge for the first episode is a design challenge. Make something out of nothing sort of a challenge. The villains are brought a whole lot of garbage that's red and black, and heroes blue and white. What is the advantage that the villains team gets, you may be wondering? Well, they are allowed to help each other with their garments, whereas the heroes team is not. The girls de-drag and get to work. We get some fun interactions between the queens, like the villains asking Dayla if she could make their obvious win on the show that much easier by eliminating herself, some queens joking about the fact that Bianca should be on the villains team, but then the producers showing us a short montage of Bianca helping other queens on season 6, while also dominating without having to sabotage other queens. We also see Raven trying to be nice to Tyra, but Tyra giving her the cold shoulder, whereas Nina West and the Vixen chat about how they both came onto their original seasons trying to raise awareness about certain issues in the queer community, but how they ended up being on different teams. Something that they also have in common is that they both feel like they need to prove themselves a little, both in the challenges and on the runway. We, of course, get Ru walking around the workroom talking to girls, maybe coming up to Yara and commenting on her change in style, as she does with Sharon, and then she goes up to Willem and Fifi and talks about their relationship, if there even is any. And he asks Willem if he's going to follow the rules this time, where Willem could say something like, "Well, now I'm divorced, so you won't have to worry about any conjugal visits." It's time for the runway. Runway. Run, runway. Of course, Rue, Michelle, and Carson are the main judges, but we also have the guest judges. First, Santino Rice as the guest judge, and of course Jeff Probst, the host, the mastermind behind Survivor. The runway will be titled, let's say, Heroic Haute Couture versus Villainous Wear. Now, of course, I cannot show you the runway looks because I don't think I'm capable of coming up with 20 different looks that pertains to each one of these queen styles, not to mention drawing all those as well. However, I think we all find the winning team of the first episode very obvious. It's the villains team. With the fact that they were able to help each other and the fact that most of them are known as being fashion queens, they outdo the first team by a massive margin. The winner of the first maxi challenge is Raja, and all of her teammates are high because of her. Just note, that was not supposed to be a joke about Raja being a notorious pothead. The heroes team is on the chopping block. Sharon is told that she's seemingly lost her edge and that uniqueness that made her so likable on season 4, but that there are some glimpses of it still there. Michelle gives Jinx a lengthy Adore on All Stars 2-esque speech where she tells her that a loosely fitted shiny dress won't really cut it on this season, especially compared to Bianca, who came out in a nice looking gown. However, Jinx jokingly says that at least not all of her dresses are going to be the same, just a different color, and Bianca maybe throws a sly comment back at Jinx, though it seems to be all done for laughs. Ben, while not making anything too spectacular, is mostly given safe critiques, but is heavily criticized for not learning how to sew still. They tell her that they gave her a pass too many in the past, and that same old hot glue couture wasn't going to cut it, especially after what the villains team showed on the runway. Asia and Yara are praised for their sewing skills and style, and Michelle probably says something like, "Look how great you look when you don't go around helping everyone, Asia. Naomi winning the advantage for her team may have been a disservice to your team, but it helped you show us what we've been waiting for since season 10. Bob the drag queen is heavily criticized for her look, and is told that she cannot hide this time behind her personality, and that she will have to bring it to the runway. Runway. Katya is praised for doing a safe but admirable job with her garment, and like with every other season that she's on, only in this episode and her last episode do we get to see Katya's Russian character. Now, when will her last episode be? I guess you'll have to stick around to find out. Nina West is criticized for her look, Santino just tearing her to shreds probably, but Carson saying something dumb like, "But Nina is a good person, I cannot dislike her." Tatiana is told that her garment is a little too simple and that she should step up her game in the design challenges, given that her season 2 sisters Raven and Tyra are on the same season. To end the runway, Ru asks Tatiana, "Is Tyra a complete bitch?" And they all laugh, but Tatiana ends it with, "Well, she is one of the villains, isn't she?" During Untucked, the heroes and the villains are not allowed to converse. Furthermore, the winning team each week gets to de-drag while the losing team is getting critiques, and they leave the set afterwards. This way, they don't find out who is sent home, and we get to have the same surprised or not so surprised reactions from the winning team when they see the losing team, just like on Survivor. Also, for technicality reasons, while being driven to and from the set, the teams ride in separate vans. Silence. I've made my decision. Bring back my heroes. Welcome back, ladies. When I call your name, please step forward. Bianca Del Rio, Asia O'Hara, Jara Sofia, Katya, you are safe. Out of the remaining 6, Jinx, Dela, and Cher are next called up as safe, so in the pecking order, they're actually low. Nina West, your heroic haute couture bordered more on hot mess. I'm sorry, my dear, but you're up for elimination. Bob the drag queen, your white and blue runway look left the judges blue-balled. Tatiana, on All Stars 2, you gave us the same parts, but in this season, you seem to be giving the same old. Tatiana, you are safe. Now, out of my RuPaul voice, that's not that different from my regular voice, we count Tatiana as low, of course. Bob the drag queen and Nina West have to lip sync to a song we've already heard on Drag Race, Holding Out for a Hero. Nina tries, she really tries to do well in the lip sync, but struggles. Whereas Bob is high energy, a great lip syncer of course, and she throws in some comedy in her performance. Ladies, I've made my decision. Bob the drag queen. Shanteu stay. Bob thanks Ru and tells her that she's not going to disappoint her anymore. Since we are following the rules of Survivor without Ghost Island or Edge of Extinction or any other way to get back into the game, we have to say goodbye to Nina for good. So that's it. That's the first episode. Did you like it? Were you shocked by the result? No, but seriously, did you actually like the way that this was written and presented? Do you have any ideas how I can improve this? Though, be mindful that using video clips from the show is not the best idea due to copyright reasons. I really hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter if you want to, and that's all.